welcome to the Pre-Snap Podcast presented by LineStar, your top 3 NFL player prop bets for tonight's Monday Night Football action. Alongside Tyler Wiemann, I am Shannon, Sommerville. Tyler, we got a good game tonight. My Jets are playing. They're hosting the Chargers. Chargers are 3.5-point favorites in this one. Of course, I'm going to be rooting for the gang green, but we've also got some great props to root for as well, because we've always got some betting interest in this one. I know a lot of people have been complaining about the scheduling of these primetime games, because over the next couple weeks, it's going to be a little bit brutal with some of these games. But hey, I actually think this might play out to be a pretty good game. And of course, we've got our props, so we've got some added interest in this particular game. First of all, we had a great weekend in prop betting. We were 4-1 on our main props show. We were 3-2 on our Underdog Fantasy picks show. And then overall on the week, we are 8-5. So having ourselves a nice week. I also had some college football props, went 4-1 this week in that. So good weekend overall. How was your weekend, Tyler?
It was good. I had a lot of CJ Stroud and CJ Stroud parlays yesterday.
Woo-hoo!
So those paid off.
Excellent. He had a heck of a game yesterday for fantasy purposes. That was pretty insane. So let's get after it today. Monday Night Football action, Chargers, Jets. Any overall thoughts about this one? Now, it is worth noting, Tyler, that the Chargers are without 2 receivers in this one. Mike Williams is still out. He's been out for a while. And then Joshua Palmer will also be out in this one. So adds a little bit of interest into, I guess, this game. And I kind of keep going back and forth on which team I'm going to pick. We'll get to our picks at the end of the show here. We'll have our props, then our touchdown calls, and then, of course, which team we're picking for tonight. Let's get into it, though, Tyler. Or I was asking you earlier, what do you make of this overall matchup?
I mean, it's ugly. The Chargers aren't any good. The Jets can barely move the ball outside of Bree Hall. It's an ugly game, and I cannot believe that the Chargers are road favorites.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy, but if you've watched the Jets on offense the past couple weeks, I apologize to the national audience that's going to be tuning into the Jets, because I've been watching the Jets week in and week out, and it is a painful experience every single time, no matter how you slice it. It's like even the wins are like brutal to watch. If you watch the Jets-Giants, you know how miserable of a game that was on both ends.
So bad.
And it was just a bad game, and now you've got Jets actually are in a decent spot going up against a Chargers defense that has struggled this season. And then on the flip side, you've got that Chargers offense that's a top 10 offense, but just can't seem to manage it done. Chargering is definitely a term for fourth quarter collapses that have been plaguing the Chargers this season. So it should be kind of an interesting matchup, but there are definitely some sides or some edges to attack if you're looking at the prop market. So we're just going to go ahead and get into our props for tonight's action. We're going to start things off with LineStar's prop. This comes from the PropsAI tool on the LineStar app. If you haven't checked it out, you can check that out at linestarapp.com. And then Tyler and I will each give our picks for tonight. All right, first things first, LineStar loving Bree Hall for tonight. We're taking Bree Hall over 19.5 receiving yards. That's minus 128 in your sports books. Both LineStar projection and the consensus in the industry is that this is going to be over. Hall's averaging 20 receiving yards per game. Meanwhile, the Chargers allowing the second most receiving yards per game to running backs, 54.9 per game to be exact. Also, they rank 29th in pass defense DVOA versus opposing teams' running backs, which also takes into account quality of opponent there. Tyler, what do you like about Bree Hall and his over here on receiving yards?
I think he's in a very, very good spot. One thing is that their offense relies around Bree Hall.
Yeah.
There's 2 people that get targets in the offense. It's Wilson and Bree Hall, and Chargers haven't been great at stopping the running backs with receptions and yards. So I think he's in a great spot to go over. And I actually have already bet the alt lines on Bree Hall's over to get some plus money on it as well. So
yeah, he's definitely a super reliable target for Zach Wilson, who, isn't a reliable quarterback, but Brees Hall's a reliable pass catcher, gets it in space and can do a lot of damage with just a little amount of room there. Follows his
Yes.
blocks pretty well. So I like Brees Hall tonight against the Chargers defense that has been porous, specifically against running backs. So we'll take the over there. All right, now it is time, Tyler, for you and I to go with our best bets for Monday Night Football. Who you got?
I'm going to go with Austin Eckler over 32.5 receiving yards, minus 130 in sportsbooks. Our LineStar projections 35. The consensus is almost 39. He's averaging 4 receptions for 44 yards a game. The Jets 19th in DVOA versus running back, and they're allowing 6 receptions for 50 yards to the running back. They're 27th in fantasy scoring to the running back, and it's largely due to the inefficiency in stopping the running back passing work. And Eckler is an elite pass catching back, so I like his spot.
Yeah, this game is really going to play to Austin Eckler's strengths in this game. When you look at the Jets defense and how they play defense, they very much force quarterbacks into check down situations, and Austin Eckler is captain check down. He's the king of that and can do a lot of damage. Again, kind of like a Brees Hall situation. He can do a lot in the passing game, that's for sure. And so they'll utilize him a lot. Jets don't like to give up those big passing plays that Justin Herbert's going to be looking for. He's also down a couple receivers in this game, so he's going to be looking to Austin Eckler even more in this matchup. Love that spot there for Eckler. For my prop bet, I am going to Garrett Wilson over 67.5 receiving yards. I was a little hesitant at first because this prop involves me trusting Zach Wilson, which is something I don't do very easily, Tyler. However, LineStar is projecting Garrett Wilson to put up 81 receiving yards. He's averaging 67 per game, so right around that line. What I like is that he's gone over the last two games against Philly and the Giants. Philly has a great defense. He had over 90 there. Chargers are allowing the third most receiving yards to wide receiver. They rank 26 specifically in pass defense DVOA versus wide receiver ones. So if he's going to go over, this is the week to do it. Yes, I don't exactly trust Zach Wilson, but even if he gives him these short passes, Garrett Wilson can make the most of it. I think he's going to have to do some work, though, today. Probably catching a couple inaccurate passes, but if anyone can do it, it's Garrett Wilson. He's very acrobatic and can make some pretty insane catches. I expect him to do some work tonight against that Chargers defense that has struggled in containing wide receiver one. So I like his spot for today. Got to take the over here. Garrett Wilson, let's go. What do you think?
I actually like the Wilson one, and he might be my touchdown call.
Okay. All right. You can find those props on Underdog Fantasy, PrizePicks, Sleeper, Chalkboard. If you don't have those apps, download them. Use the promo code LineStar. You can get up to $100 of your deposit match. Also, if we hit all 3 of our props, we're going to go ahead and give out $100 to one randomly selected commenter. So all you need to do to enter into that contest, make sure you like this video, you're subscribed to our channel, and you comment below. When you're in it, we got to give out some money, and we'll set off the money again, and we'll announce that on our next show later this week. All right, let's get into our touchdown calls of the day. Tyler, where are you headed for a touchdown on this Monday Night Football game in the Meadowlands?
I'm going to go with Garrett Wilson plus 165 for a touchdown. He has 8 red zone targets over the last 4 years. That is 60% higher than anybody else in this game. So I think he's a great spot for a touchdown. But not only that, Garrett Wilson's targeted 61% of the time when the defense blitzes. Chargers are 12th in the league in blitz rate. Think they bring some pressure tonight, and that just means more action to Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, you sent me the stat earlier about how often he's targeted when Zach Wilson is blitzed. He just tries to get to good old Wilson to Wilson connection there. I like that one. All right, for my touchdown call, I'm going to Bree Hall for a touchdown at plus 115. Hall's had 2 touchdowns over the last 3 games and 12 red zone tries over the last 4 weeks. That's the most of anyone that's playing in this game. And the Chargers are 20th in red zone scoring percentage. They've given up a lot of fantasy points, in particular to opposing running backs so far this season. I think Bree Hall is in an amazing spot to both hit the over on rushing, receiving, and get that touchdown call for us today. We're going Bree Hall for a touchdown. Even though the Jets offense has struggled with scoring this season, Bree Hall's in a good spot to do so today. I expect a little bit more from him going into tonight's matchup, just because the matchup is very good in terms of going up against that Chargers defense that we've talked about in our props for receiving yards. So let's get a touchdown, Brees Hall. Brees Lightning gonna go off. Let's get it. Also, I do need to throw out a little bonus here. All right.
Oh boy.
Jets defense plus 600 for a touchdown. Not bad, right? 8 interceptions on the year, and they've made opposing quarterbacks look silly. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, all of them had multiple interceptions, coughing up the football. I don't hate this play here at plus 600 for the Jets defense to get a touchdown. I mean, the offense has struggled to get touchdowns, but the defense, that they carry this team. They've carried this team all season long, and could happen tonight. I don't know. What do you think about that one? I saw it and I was like, that's
it could.
Line.
I think the odds should probably be a little bit higher.
Yeah,
but
fair
I
enough.
do think there's absolutely a good chance for a defensive touchdown.
Yeah. So that was an interesting one for me as well. But for our purposes here in our contest that we're running on Twitter, we're going with Brees Lightning. Love a Brees Hall prop today. We're going all in on some Jets today. I like it. I like where we're headed. Speaking of which, where are you headed in this game in terms of the sides? So the Chargers 3.5-point favorites on the road, which is pretty, I don't know. I think it's a little generous considering the Chargers are 3-4 in the year. I don't know. Their defense has not looked great. What do you think?
I don't think they should be favorites. They're on the road. They're going across the country. They generally struggle when they have to go all the way to the East Coast. And, I mean, the Jets' offense by no means is good, but that defense is. And I think it does enough to put them in position to win.
Yeah, let's be clear. The Jets are not winning games because of Zach Wilson. They are winning games in spite of him, and that defense has been phenomenal. And you've seen how they performed against other pretty good passing quarterbacks. I expect them to do the same against Herbert, who isn't so much of a rushing threat either, like some of the other guys that I just talked about were. So I think they'll have success kind of containing him, especially given the fact that he's lacking some wide receivers here. So I like the spot here for the Jets. It's hard for me to bet on the Jets, I'll tell you what, because it's just been a painful experience for me as a Jets fan over the past couple of years, as you can imagine. So, but the more I look at this matchup, the more I just side with the Jets defense in this one. And I don't know. We'll see what happens. So are you on the Jets side tonight?
I'm on the Jets side.
Going the gang green? All right.
Yeah.
Let's go. For more analytics, everything you need to dominate in daily fantasy, make sure to check out LineStarApp.com. And Tyler will be breaking down Monday Night Football DFS action for all you guys that are playing daily fantasy. He'll tell you where to head. Any interesting DFS teases you can give us for maybe where you're headed in your advice for tonight?
Not quite yet. I haven't finished all my research there, but the video will be coming out soon and you can tune in.
Make sure to tune into that. Make sure you're subscribed to the LineStar YouTube channel. You comment below for a chance to win $100 if we hit all of our props. And make sure you sign up for all of those apps. Underdog Fantasy, PrizePicks, Sleeper, Chalkboard. Got to be in it to win it, especially for these Monday Night Football games, these primetime games. We got to have some action in there because they might not be exciting, at least the next couple of games. I was looking at the schedule. They look a little rough. So
Thursday is going to be
Thank
rough.
God for props, right?
Yeah.
Good luck in all of your prop betting endeavors. We will see you guys next time. Bet responsibly. We'll see you tomorrow.
Have a good one, guys. Good luck.